Previously on Illusion of Gaia. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Nathan Plays Illusion of Gaia. My name is Nathan, and this, of course, is Illusion of Gaia on the Super Nintendo. Previously, we were turned into a giant blonde swordsman. Let's see what turned out with that. Carry on our adventures. Start the journey from underground tunnel. That's right, as you recall, we talked to a statue and turned us into Friedan, the Eternal Warrior, who, I tested out his moves a little bit here. He's got kind of a, that would be the flute twirl and straightforward attack. You can see a statue of my former self in the corner there. So let's take him for a test drive. Unlike most action RPGs of this style, your attacks don't really have an arc to them. They're mostly just sort of straightforward, which can be very challenging in some ways. Obviously, the first advantage there is that Friedan has extra range and was able to hit that button, and next is that he one-shots bats and two-shots Skellymans, so that's not so bad. Come across a little bit of a puzzle here, sort of a, well, I don't know, puzzle, but just an obstacle, I suppose, and a new type of Skellyman, Bronze Skellyman. That's not canon, I'm just sort of making names up here. When destroyed, his head floats around and totally gets in a free shot at me, which is really, really irritating. Noticeably, the skeleton and skeleton head take quite a few hits even for Friedan, so that's kind of annoying, but in defeating him, I was able to open the way forward. So we carried on through our adventures, fought some more Skellymans, cleared another sort of tricksy obstacle with a little bit of timing there. Nicely done, me. And in doing a little bit of exploring, found another red jewel. Excellent. Found another Skellyman, did considerably better this time. And got a def up for my troubles. Time to continue forward to the next area. It's a hallway with some barrels. How exciting. And I accidentally skipped that dialogue prompt there. But what it actually was trying to tell me was that when the enemies are destroyed, Will can return to his original shape. The game accepts D-pad presses as button presses when forwarding dialogue, and you'll see me do it a couple of times where I accidentally clear a window without actually being able to read it just because I'm trying to press forward. Anyway, we meet a girl in the hallway here who's surprised that I can change shape as well, and she's protected by something called the Flower Spirit, and that apparently I know a song that only I could have learned from them or something. I reveal that I learned it from Grandma Lola. And apparently this girl has had some of her pie. Kind of a weird running thing with Grandma Lola's pie in this game. Don't quite understand it. But apparently Lily has been asked to rescue me. That odd sound happens again, and it turns out that that is the Elder calling whoever or whatever the Elder is, and that we'll meet again. Oh, it turns out Lily was that weird flower thing that was following me around earlier. Strange. Just been a weird day, as I like to say. Heading through the doorway, I find myself in Edward's castle again. Oh, look at that. We've made our way back up to what looks like a basement of some sort. Fairly dark down here, so I worked my way up the castle. Oops, guards there. Guess I'll go. Oh, if you want to take her away, says Will, now's the time. Do I want to? I guess so. All right. So I headed upstairs, walked right past the guard, who is asleep, it turns out. Kara says, of course you've come. And apparently that guard's nickname was Old Snorehead. Oh, that was a plot thread that I was really hoping that they would wrap up. I find out once again that the pig's name is Hamlet, and that he has some sort of strange pig power. I hope that pays off later in the game. I actually have no idea if it will or not. We'll see. We'll find out about strange pig powers. We head back down to the castle, and I'm about to leave when Karen, who was formerly Kara, says, oh, we should get some food for the trip. Okay, back down to the basement. I have no idea which of these barrels might contain anything, so I pick one. And to my surprise, I found a large, yummy roast leg of yak. Ooh, sounds delicious. I'm sure one roast leg of yak will sustain us for whatever trip that we're on. Okay, now Kara's satisfied. Bags, don't worry about it. Toiletries, not a concern. One big leg of yak. Let's do it. Now we're ready to go. Time to head out of the castle. Well, okay, we were leaving until you started speechifying about it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm worried about my grandparents as well. So let's hurry to Will's place. I love the way they travel in this game. Didn't really notice it too much last time, but first of all, okay, you carefully orient yourself in a direction. Go in a straight line. Carefully reorient. Straight line, straight line, straight line. And when you arrive at your destination, you carefully orient yourself back northwards, as we all do, and then you can say you've arrived. Will's house has been trashed. What? What's happened? Who indeed would do such a thing, Kara? My grandparents? Asks Will. Are you sure they'd trash their own house? So we call around for them, and Kara says she'll look upstairs. Once again, while I'm looking around and pressing on the directional pad, I miss another dialogue prompt because I was just looking around. What it said was, "Who will come here quick? It's terrible, terrible." It's a super great design choice to make all the buttons on the controller fast forward dialogue. Upstairs, also trashed, and there's a sign on the wall, the mark of the jackal. Dun dun dun. The jackal is the hunter that Kara mentioned that her mother hired earlier. An evil man who will stop at nothing. I hope we don't meet him. And he has no regard for human life. Oh, great. Here comes that hallucinatory flower person again. Don't worry, she says. Kara demands to know who this is. Oh, that's a good question. Lily says, I'm Will's friend. And this begins a lot of kind of insufferable dialogue between Kara and Lily as they argue back and forth about who's spoiled and who's not and who's coming along and who's not. And Will just kind of stands there mutely as they go back and forth. Lily reveals that she's from a certain village that has a barrier around it so that ordinary people can't find it. But we're going to head there now. Will's like, okay, nothing better to do. Kara announces that she's coming too because I guess she clearly also has nothing better to do. And that you can't stop royalty. She can do whatever she wants. Typical. At this point, I didn't realize for a moment that I was actually able to move again. But Kara's feeling pretty positive about the whole thing. She does have kind of an optimistic streak on her. Lily suggests that maybe I should meet the townspeople and, say my goodbyes. So I headed on to the town. Turns out nobody has anything new to say at all. So I tried talking to a number of different people. The only one that really changed was the school teacher here, who thinks I'm plotting something. And then I thought, oh, I have red jewels. I'm going to go see the Master of the Seven Seas. But before I just give them over, I want to see your inventory. Let's see what I'm in for. I didn't even look last time. Let's see, you got herbs, defense force, life force, psycho power, dark power, and my secrets as 50 jewels. Well, I've got 3, and I don't know if, how many I'm going to have, so I'm just like, you know what, I came to say hi. I'll save those up for now. I headed to the seaside cave to say goodbye to my friends, but no one really seems to care that I'm leaving. Oh, except, Lance notices that I look kind of gloomy, even though I feel like I seemed fairly optimistic before. And Eric thinks I'm not acting like the same old Will, based on 18 seconds of observation. Alright, well, bye guys. I took a moment to stand pensively on the docks and let my hair blow in the wind dramatically. And then it was time to go. Back to the house. Are you ready to go? Yeah. Sure, I guess so. Lily's at least honest. No, there's going to be hardships from here. And here comes more of the banter. Have you been outside the castle? Blah, 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 blah. Crazy girl. La, la, la. Will just kind of stands there. The Will's my friend, says Lily. And Kara's like, hey, Will, aren't you my friend too? And I'm like, I'm going to the village. Kind of walk around that one as much as possible. So together, the three set off for Lily's village. Travel time. Straight line. Straight line. Careful turns. Careful turns. And we made it to Ettore village. Nothing much here at the moment. And Lily's like, you're probably surprised. A lot of people assume that I'll be quite shocked, I think. Maybe 2 people, but that seems like a lot. So they encourage me to play the song, and when I do... Oh yeah, first you gotta sit through it. Seem like the real thing, only to find much mistrust, not far behind. Yikes. Ah, the melody carried on the wind, spread over the meadow. The light changes, and oh, there's a village here after all. She wasn't kidding around. Yes, you did mention the barrier. And then they take some time to snipe at each other some more. It's really a lot of endearing character work they're doing here. Really making us as players just really get to love these side characters here in the game. So they sort of ditch me, and I'm on my own to look around. Went and talked to these folks, or this lady, rather. She reveals something about the Incas, a legendary tribe who is gone from this area. Even in seemingly meaningless melodies, there's a message. It gives me hope for top 40 radio, I guess. And this lady's like, please be friends with her, please. Oh, there's my grandparents. Hooray! They're fine. A terrible thing happened to us, says Grandma Lola. A man called the Jackal came to the house with some soldiers. He almost got us. Grandpa panicked. But I destroyed their digestion with a poisoned marsupial pie. So this is, canonically right now in the game, we have a hunter who will stop at nothing to get his quarry. Except pie, I suppose. Makes sense? Doesn't make sense? I don't know. Not here to judge. But seems like sort of a bad, kind of a huge Achilles heel. Once again, my friends wander off, so I went to visit them in their house. Lily says I should go talk to the elder. She says we, but she doesn't actually come along. Kara is settling in nicely. She kind of just rapidly switches back and forth between snarky, stuck-up princess and just super relaxed and having a great time. So I took some time to explore the village a little bit more. I found this intriguing stone ramp and went up here. Talked to these folks. A messenger appeared here when the ancient world was about to be destroyed. Oh, and there's a save point there. I'll come back to that later, I suppose. Feel like I'm saved up for the moment. Ah, if I keep running, I'll be surprised again. Well, all right. Whoa! 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. Took a moment to be freaked out there. Yes, I was surprised. That was very cool. And I hear a quiet voice behind me. You've come, Will. Okay. There's nobody here. I try messing with the gravestones a little bit. I played the melody. Nothing happened. Okay, let's look around a little bit. Oh, intriguing cave. Let's check it out. Well, there's some statue kind of head things and a dead end, so that's not super thrilling. Let's go back up to the flower area there. And this time, oh, a specter. That's the elder. He can't live without the protection of the flower spirit. And I really look like my dad, apparently. So the elder kind of dispenses a little bit of backstory about how your father eventually came to this village and met your mother here. And took her away from here. It's a terrible, boring place. There's like 2 houses, so probably there wasn't anywhere for them to live when they decided to, get married or whatever. Your mother was responsible for the magical barrier that's hiding the town. And he asked, was I summoned here? Yeah, I guess so. Apparently, Grandma Lola made a prophecy. Do I plan to go? No, I don't. So I picked that. A disobedient son, unlike your father. Ooh, guilt trip. Well, the game's obviously not going to proceed if I keep saying no, so I tried again and said yes. So the elder decides to entrust me with the Incan statue that's been handed down to the village. One statue is enshrined in the cave below, and I'm supposed to use my skills to get it. So I head back to the cave. Okay, I tried my, flute move on various things. Kind of fruitless. Poking around a little bit here. Is that the statue? No, I played the song again, but nothing happened. Get used to seeing that a lot. And worked my way around to the back wall of the cave. Took a few experimental shots, and then, I hit something. So I tried hitting it a whole bunch more times, and I'm embarrassed a little bit at how long I stayed here. I tried playing the song again, I tried to move it, I tried hitting it even more, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. And all of a sudden I had a thought, I'll be right back. So I thought maybe that save point might have another way to turn into Freedan there, and maybe that would benefit me somehow. So I went back to the save point. Not Freedan, but a statue of me, holding kind of a shimmering light. Psycho Dash can now be used. Only young Will can use the Psycho Dash. That sounds kind of alarming. I don't know if I want to. You can smash walls and obstacles by hurling yourself against them. Oh, brilliant. That's just what I need right now. Use the attack button to save energy. So when you hold down the attack button now, you glow a pleasant shade of minty green. And when you let go, as he's rapidly flashing, he sort of dashes forward. I don't know why it didn't quite work there. Then I talked to Gaia to save the game. And she gave me some terrible foreign policy advice. If you see a suspicious place, she says, try to destroy it. This is why you're not a diplomat anymore. Save my game real quick, continue my journey. And then it was time to ramp back across town and head all the way back to the cave to try out my new move. Here we go. Yes, explodes violently and I'm in. To take. Found. This is so slow. Incan statue, eh? Nice. Got it. The elder's super impressed. Ooh, that's the Incan statue. Good job. I don't know why he's so jazzed up about it. But he thinks I might have been put on this earth to solve the riddle. And he's going to tell me a legend. Put the statue on the Lara cliff below the ruins where the spirit's breath cannot reach, he says. The winds in the valley will lead you to the golden ship. Do you understand? And I'm like, no, I don't. So he just repeats himself, and I'm thinking, well, it's not... I understood the words that you said, but not the context. But you know what? It's fine. I get it. I got it. Apparently the Moon Tribe has one more statue, and I'm supposed to get Lily to take me over there. All right. Woo, back to Lily's house. Moon Tribe? I'm not a tribe. Okay, I don't care. Just take me there. One more time I opted to quit. And she says, if you make him mad, you'll lose your life. So you better stop it. I have no idea who she's referring to in this. Kara's still fine. She's chilling out. She's happy. Thought I'd say goodbye to Grandma and Grandpa one more time before I headed off on another grand adventure. And Grandma Lola tells me about her spooky prophecy. Grandpa Bill's like, how's the elder? Well, he's a ghost in a field of flowers. It's not bad, I guess. And he tells me what I already knew about the shiny stones, namely that if I collect 100 of them, I will get an extra life. Great. Bye. Alright, Lils. Let's go. Again, more back and forth. Fun times between Lily and Kara. Kara wants to see more of the world ever since she got out of the castle. And Lily's like, no. Kara, you're the worst, and we don't want you along. So Kara goes off to sulk. Yeah. She says, I want to talk to Grandma Lola. I'm like, okay, super great taunt. You really got us there. The mountain pass will be difficult, she says, but we'll do the best we can. Here we go. Ready for the difficult mountain pass journey? I know I am. Carefully, and... Alright, we're there. That did not seem so hard, but I guess maybe they glossed over something. Home of Moon Tribe. This is the Moon Tribe's home, says Lily. Okay, thanks. I did get that. Cave there, but we can't go in yet. So we head up to the main area. Good evening, out for a stroll. I was not even aware that it was the evening. Strange voice continues to taunt me. And I can choose if you're Cotton Candy's relative, Birdman, or Old Man's Ghost. So obviously I go with your Birdman. You must be some sort of Birdman. I've already met an Old Man's Ghost, so it was unlikely to be that. And I have no idea. I freaked out a little bit. Ghosts everywhere. Turns out these are the Moon Tribe. They have transcended their mortal fleshy bodies and become weird, ghostly skulls. Do I know my destination? Maybe someone's chasing you. Coo. They tell me a little more about the comet, which apparently heralds the end of the Earth, and everything will be unbearable. The Earth, I think, as maybe a different guy says it, happens every 800 years or so. The comet that was mentioned briefly by that one guy in the village. There's your other Incan statues in the cave below. So I should go have a look. Alright, head in there. Lily says she's going to wait there. Thanks, Lils. The final shape of those touched by the comet's light. Horrible creatures whose hearts are filled with hatred and destruction. If I can destroy them within 20 seconds, yay for arbitrary challenges. If I can do that, then I get the statue. So first of all, kind of embarrassingly, I was hitting the wrong button. I was trying to do the song button, but that, of course, did nothing. And, trying real hard to get this in for the almost, and, just missed the deadline. Tried to grab the statue anyway, no dice. Attempt the second went badly as well. Almost there. And because I keep skipping the dialogue, it says, in that case, I can't give you the statue. And it's, again, because I'm mashing on the D-pad buttons to try and chase after these things, that I just accidentally skip stuff that I need to read. Attempt the third. Here we go. Six seconds, plenty of time to spare. And they'll give me the Incan statue. It was lucky that I managed to double up on those, get a 2-for-1 in the last enemies there. So another painfully slow dialogue box appears. I've got Incan statue B. Go team. Oh, that statue. You are great. Go to the Incan ruins. Sure. I got nowhere else to be. Yeah, my father summoned me. I don't want to fight the demons, but if he's alive, I'll do what I can. And then I get kind of emo about it a little bit, and Lily's like, typical. So I assume there will be some sort of plot revelation there a little further down the line. They head to the Incan ruins. I'm assuming all of this happens like within the same... Well, it was night before in the castle, so this is like day 2. We're doing tons of traveling here. It's like 15 minutes walk, probably. All the way over to Inca, which is right here. That's handy. Inca ruins, variously known as Incan ruins. Not sure which. Entrance to ruins. Here's the entrance to the ruins, says Lily. Thanks, Lily. You are just the best. Lily reiterates the, oh no, she does that later. The legend. But apparently the Incans built a giant ship full of gold and then disappeared. So maybe I'll find it. Who knows? We wander around the ruins a little bit. Check it out. Some scary stone faces. There's a hole that looked intriguing, but is nothing. And as I'm about to go in... Oh, good. Kara's here. Yay. They bicker a little more about whether or not she's supposed to be here. She found out from Grandma Lola where we were going, and apparently has just been waiting behind this stone pillar the whole time. I guess that's actually kind of like, this should be proving to Lily that she's pretty tough in her own way if she traveled here all by herself and then just kind of waited in this scary place. But no dice. Anyway, the both of them decide to just sort of stay here. Lily reminds me of the baffling thing that the elder said. That I understand and yet not. And in I go. Yay. It was a treacherous wind at Lara Cliff. That's probably what the old man meant by breath of the spirits. Oh yeah, okay, I wouldn't have got there, thanks, but... Actually, maybe I wouldn't have, because... There's some trouble spots here for me. I'll be honest. Inside our second official dungeon, we meet a new enemy, the Mudmen, I'm calling them. Not too difficult. They kind of wander around and then back up to try and do a sort of charge attack. Pretty easy to take care of. And we also find these face shooters here. Spin around and occasionally release darts to trouble you. They mostly seem to shoot diagonal, so that one caught me off guard. And I got a def up. And I found a weird diamond hole. On to the next room. The roly-poly bugs are back, so I beat up a couple of those. As well as some odd platforms there, and I worked my way all the way around the room to find another one of these things. And as you can see, I was pretty low on health, because I was being a little bit incautious, so that health up was rather a nice thing to get. Outside, I found the diamond-shaped block. Ooh, I know where that goes. I know this. I know this one. So I head back there. Equip the diamond-shaped block, but first I paused because I actually realized right now that I have the large leg of roast yak. I have no idea if that's going to pay off or not eventually. But I put the diamond-shaped block into the spot and get a new walkway. Cool. I like the little touch there of the last one kind of late. I also like the sort of indoor and outdoor working my way down the cliff face aspect of this dungeon. That's kind of cool. A couple more mud men to work with. And as I take care of this last face shooter thing, it spawns a ladder. Which takes me back to the beginning of the level. Realizing that, I kind of just quit halfway and then went back down. Took a bit of a flying leap there, but I knew the ladder would take me to the same place anyway, because it just seemed like it would. Actually, I didn't know that, but it doesn't matter, it worked. And I headed into this area. There's a spooky skeleton on the floor. An explorer who sought the Incan gold ship? and the skeleton's head is some kind of charm. Inside it is a scrap of paper with a note written on it. Father, please come back alive. Nana. Oh, that's very sad. And that guy's supposed to buy a crook, whatever that is, if he ever finds the thing. I started checking the walls a little bit now, too. Oh, and this took me sort of a while to figure out. I'm like, oh, is there like a push option on my flute that I could shove those back because now they're in my way? So I went all the way up here to see if there was a way around. No, there's not. And then I came back and hit them, and then finally I was like, oh, wait, yeah, I can do the thing. Sometimes not very bright at video games, I will be honest. So working my way through this incredible maze, I arrive at the treasure chest, which contains an herb. Right on. At this point, I was not entirely sure where to go next. I tried kind of working over one of these bugs, and I was successful, but didn't really yield anything particularly useful at the moment. And that one had drifted way out of my range, and I didn't know how I was going to get him back. So I decided to head back outside and see if there was something I missed. As I wandered around a bit more, I started to realize that I had sort of no idea what direction to go in next. I went back down to where I'd been, and, you know, re-equipped the song, tried playing that, but nothing happened. I started... in this area, I managed to get these bugs to group up sort of nicely, so I finished them off hoping that a way would open up. It didn't, and nothing happened. Disappointing. So I kind of freaked out a little bit in frustration. I've chopped out quite a bit of wasted time here as I wandered all the way back through the dungeon. I equipped the statues and tried to place them on the pedestals there. I thought that might be something, but it's not. And so in desperation, I was heading back down to that room when suddenly I noticed it. Oh, it was clear as day. How had I walked past it a bunch of times? Nice little gap. I threw myself down. Look at that. The way forward at long last. Brought me to sort of a tricky hallway full of shooters there. And for the first time I tried out my Psycho Dash on an enemy, you'll notice it did about 7 damage, which is a lot better than my usual 2 to 3. Working my way through that room, got myself another strength increase. Nice. And discovered a new enemy type. Slimes. Pretty easy to take care of, not really a big deal. Basically just like the bats from the last dungeon. As well as this sort of floating statue head thingy, which I just kind of gracelessly tanked my way through the battle with. That was some pretty good grammar there, I think. This one was off limits, and I tried very hard to hit it, and then I thought, oh, maybe I'll have to come back here later. Because we do know somebody with better range than standard will. So I left the area. Ah, a mistier, creepier area of Lara Cliff. With another skeleton. Spooky skeletons. Something on the ground here. If I can move that gold statue, I can pass. Took a dart right to the chest there. Kind of disappointed in myself on that one. And headed up the ladder to find another one of these guys. Just narrowly dodged that one. Pretty exciting. And defeating him, got another ladder back up to the other areas. So this was a new room to me. Found myself some gold statues and some pressure plates. Well, okay. Oh, but then they move. So I got into sort of a protracted fight with one of these. They're actually quite, they have a lot of hit points. They're not super difficult to kill, but it just takes time, really. And again, by accident, sort of raced through that thing without reading it. But what it said was, stepping on a gold tile emits a sound. There are 4 gold tiles. Stand on each of the 4 tiles at the same time. That didn't really... Again, I didn't read that right away, and it didn't exactly click with me, so I ended up kind of going around the room and defeating all of these things, or most of them, rather, 3 out of 4, before finally realizing, oh, you know what? Maybe I should read the directions and then do that. And in doing so, I realized not only was I out of all of them, but this last one just now woke up. So I'm like, all right, let's get a do-over on this room. So very carefully, I came back in and I kept my distance because I think it's a proximity thing. It seems to be. And maneuvered them onto the tiles, which opened a door. Around and down. And a new area. Stepping on the plate drops a block. Okay, good tutorial. Stepping on that plate drops another block. Okay, I think I got it, thanks. So what we're dealing with here is... Oh, yeah, I tried to use the wrong button again. I'm not sure why that keeps happening. What we're dealing with here is a lot of darts flying around as well as switches to be able to reveal the way forward. I feel like I did some fairly crafty dodging and game playing there, and I just wanted to show that off a little bit. And I made my way to a save point, which was about where I felt like I would call it for the day. Turns out the save points will refill your health as well, but I think we maybe knew that from before. And there's my buddy Freedan, so we're going to take him back to that statue that we couldn't reach before, and we're going to have to do that on the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next mission.